Next on Worcester News Tonight, a local university is stepping up to assist the Worcester Red Sox in building Polar Park. Plus, it's been 10 years since the discovery of the Asian longhorned beetle. An update tonight on the state of the trees. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Paw Sox officials continue to meet with fans in the area to discuss what they want to see in Polar Park. Thursday, the design process took a step forward as Worcester Polytechnic Institute announced they'll be teaming up with the Paw Sox to help create the new ballpark. Our Cam Jandro was at today's announcement and has those details. Cam?
Anna, Larry Lucchino says working with WPI was one of his top priorities when moving his team from Pawtucket to Worcester. Now, Lucchino has had a hand in building Camden Yards as well as Petco Park, but this time around, he'll have local students and staff helping him build Polar Park.
There we go.
Worcester is yet to break ground on Polar Park, but when they do, they'll have WPI by their side.
Every year we'll be able to do projects in association with this ballpark. We'll be advising as they're planning and building, and then once the ballpark opens, we'll be helping to optimize that.
The school announced Thursday they're the official academic technology advisor for the soon-to-be Worcester Red Sox. They'll also assist the team in design and amenities to create a 21st century ballpark.
And both universities and the business community have come together to offer us significant support.
Lucchino says he's been meeting with WPI since May of 2018. Months before it was announced the team would be moving. The school will also work on projects including accommodating people with disabilities, virtual reality, and new ways to collect sensory data.
We are excited to have their brilliant faculty and their talented student body working on issues that can make this an exceptional and innovative ballpark.
I think it's really exciting when you're thinking about how technology can change your experience at a ballpark, and right here in Worcester where that will be revolutionized.
The Paw Sox will leave McCoy Stadium after 40-plus years to play in a new ballpark along Madison Street in 2021. A ballpark they're hoping is smarter than all the others.
This partnership offers a real-world opportunity to apply science and technology to help people have an amazing experience at Polar Park.
Now, students and staff at WPI will begin working on Polar Park-related projects in the fall of 2019. They'll continue to do the work all the way through the year 2023. Anna?
Thanks, Kim. 30 Massachusetts communities are designated green communities this year. Today, Shrewsbury was among the central Massachusetts towns recognized. In order to be named a green community by the Department of Energy Resources, there are 5 criteria the city or town must adopt, including reducing municipal energy consumption by 20% over 5 years. They then receive a grant from the state as part of the program to further their green efforts.
A total of 240 communities out of the 351 cities and towns that's participating in green communities, and that's representative of 78% of the population in Massachusetts.
Other central Massachusetts towns recognized today include Rutland, Sturbridge, Uxbridge, and Westboro. It's been 10 years since the eradication process for Asian longhorned beetles began in Worcester. Tonight, an update on the trees. The Asian longhorned beetle wiped out almost 30,000 trees in Worcester and surrounding towns in the years after it was first discovered. According to the Worcester Tree Initiative, since then, about 6,000 have been cut. They say while the beetle is still here, the outbreaks are much smaller. However, there are other concerns and threats to city trees.
But development of any kind is really the biggest problem for trees right now. So development for housing, development for a bigger urban landscape, and also interestingly enough for solar fields. So the new problem that is solar companies are buying swaths, acres of wooded land in sort of western part of the state and then cutting down the trees to put in solar fields.
The Worcester Tree Initiative says trees are an essential part of the community and people can do their part by planting new trees, learning to prune and take care of trees. A living memorial tree in Douglas honors 2 teenagers killed in a car crash in the early 1960s. Today, a new tree was planted in their honor. It replaces one which is dying. Some of the old Japanese cherry tree was saved to be grafted onto the root of the new tree.
Branches from the old Kwanzaa cherry and graft them onto this new Kwanzaa cherry, which should live for a very long time. It's very healthy.
The family of one of the teenagers, Arthur Blodgett, was at today's ceremony. They say it was nice to see Arthur and Gary Zayak honored this way.
Really important to me because it means that the memory of my brother will continue to live a lot longer in the new tree.
Arborists will continue to graft living wood from the old tree into the new stump, and they say hopefully move the old tree with less regret. Another longtime Pawtucket-based organization is headed to Worcester. The former Rhode Island architect firm LLB Architects cut the ribbon for their new office in the city. LLB has been working on projects in Worcester since last July, and almost a year later, they're expanding. Principal R. Drayton Fair is working close with the city officials on designing the Worcester Public Library and says he's excited to work on such an important project.
Public library is always one of the main anchors of any town or city. I always say it's the one place that's open to all, it's really the heart of our democracy. It's where information is free and uncensored for everyone.
The Worcester Public Library isn't the only major renovation in Worcester. The firm will be also working on the DCU Center. Disturbing details are surfacing about thousands of Boy Scout leaders accused of sexual misconduct. Some say it was kept secret for years and is now being released in the so-called perversion files. Here in Worcester County, a local chapter says volunteers are required to take training courses and any incidents are reported to police. Our Rosalind Flaherty spoke with the local chapter's Scout executive today.
Treasure Valley in Rutland is where thousands of Boy Scouts spend their summers.
We make sure that those youth that are in our program have the opportunity to learn ways to make good ethical decisions and become community leaders in the future.
Todd Lamison is the Scout executive of the Heart of New England Council, a chapter of Boy Scouts of America. He says they serve 7,000 youth in Worcester County and have more than 2,500 leaders.
We do everything we can to make sure that they're safe.
Earlier this week, an attorney in New York made claims more than 7,000 former Boy Scout leaders have been accused of sexually assaulting boys nationwide since the 1940s. Attorneys for the sex assault victims say the information was contained in the organization's so-called perversion files.
And they may have removed them from scouting. They may have kept them in their perversion files, but they never alerted the community.
Lamison says they take the allegations very seriously, although it's unknown if any incidents happened in central Massachusetts.
We believe the victims and we go ahead and get them counseling as quickly as we can. Are outraged anytime anybody uses the Boy Scouts to go ahead and gain access to youth.
He says all volunteers are required to take youth protection training programs and learn how to recognize signs of abuse and how to report it. He says any allegations are brought to police immediately.
Make sure that the people that are involved follow our policies. Anybody who's unwilling or unable to follow those policies, we will go ahead and remove from scouting.
Lamison says the organization is important to the community and it shapes the lives of young boys, and he wants to see the good continue.
We've done a study that shows anybody who's been scouting for just 5 years is more likely to graduate high school, 3 times more likely to graduate college. At the end of the day, learn responsibility and become our leaders of our community.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A state trooper makes a unique find in Holden, and tonight it appears they found the owner of the missing item. Mass State Police posted this picture of a Marine uniform on their Facebook page. It was shared almost 6,000 times. A trooper found the uniform and garment bag on Main Street in Holden. They say the owner has contacted state police to reclaim it. Giving Latino men in recovery a safe place to go. The Hector Reyes House in Worcester is celebrating 10 years. Dr. Maddie Castile co-founded the nonprofit and says everyone deserves a second chance. She says she can't believe how much it's grown over the years. Our Brittany Schaefer has more on how it has helped save people's lives.
The Hector Reyes House has changed Jesus Hernandez's life.
It feels more homey. This place means a lot.
The Substance Abuse Treatment Center houses 25 Latino men for 6 months. Hernandez has been in and out of other treatment centers, but says this is the first one focused on Latinos.
My nationality, Puerto Rican, and I've been in many different places would just speak English, so I thought here they speak both.
The facility offers Hernandez a place to pursue his passion while spreading his culture.
Pork chop with a Caribbean sauce that I made.
The nonprofit is celebrating 10 years and has expanded to a restaurant and additional housing. Co-founder Dr. Maddie Castile says when their residents succeed, the program succeeds.
It's the best thing that I've ever done to watch it 10 years later and where we are 10 years later with 2 transitional houses and the program and a cafe. I think Hector Reyes would be proud.
It's amazing what they do, how resilient they really are, and how determined. So that's the best part of the job. That's the reward for me, to see them succeed.
Castile says helping these men grow and function in society is rewarding.
They are working incredibly hard to get to where they are. I always talk about people get high to feel good. That's my high.
Castile says in 2018, they bought the home next door to offer extended housing opportunities for the men that need it. In Worcester, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The Girl Scouts of Central and Western Massachusetts showing off their new leadership in Worcester Thursday. A ribbon cutting and tour of the new facility showcased the 7,400 square foot building. It opened last month and includes a new STEM center for girls. The building houses 20 full-time staff. The organization says it's a great location for people to gather.
It's just more ready for girls, and we've got some fabulous opportunities to bring girls here, to do lots of different programs here, to do training for volunteers. It's a multi-purpose building centered around girls.
Exterior work of the building will be completed this summer.